Yo, this is Gabe Rosales with Icons Unite, talking about my song, For a Life. It's touching on the human trafficking subject of social change, and it basically takes you through the eyes and the experience of a Mexican worker coming up, getting trafficked in by a U.S. corporation, and then eventually getting raided and taken to a private prison where he works for free, essentially. And this is the kind of things that happens regularly. And so this song specifically is touching on a couple different subjects. It's touching on NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement, which has made it tough for Mexicans and Latin Americans to work in their own countries by just totally blowing out the competition and making them work in other places where they they're not necessarily working on growing their own communities, as well as being trafficked in by U.S. corporations, meatpacking industry, that makes them work, and then eventually they get raided and taken to a private prison where again they're exploited and lots of money are made on them. And so the reason why this is so close to my heart is because I personally was incarcerated for a while, and I got to see the way it worked, and I got to see how much money and how much of a lucrative business the prison and jail industry is. Now in this country, it's something that everybody should be definitely aware of, and if not, should be up in arms about, because any kind of justice cannot be implemented if we have a for-profit system. For-profit justice is ridiculous, and the fact that certain demographic of people, corporations and other people, shareholders, make lots of money depending on how many beds are full in jail. I mean, we're working against ourselves, and we're tearing apart the community, as well as exploiting human beings, bringing people up from other countries to make them work for like basically slave wages, and then they get taken by private prison industry because they have fake social security numbers, and then they make even more money off of them there. So making them work for free and keeping them indefinitely. So when I was locked up, I noticed that beds were consistently full. These illegal immigrants that they brought in, they could deport them right away, but depending on whether they had somebody to fill that bed or not, they would keep them there, which is ridiculous. So that's one of the reasons why it's so close to my heart, is because not only being a Latin American myself, being Mexican American, and seeing my dad's side of the family in Mexico and the struggles they've gone through, as well as my dad, and just seeing what it takes to survive, and then as well as people just looking for a better way of life, and then getting trafficked in by a U.S. corporation who are just starting to kind of get being held accountable for trafficking in people. But trafficking in general is just is a big problem with child labor, as well as sex trafficking all over the world. So I figured I needed to make some kind of song addressing this. And so basically what's next for me in this is I'm a professional musician. I've been playing music professionally since 1999, and I've been playing my main instrument, bass, for 20 years. And I played with lots of high-profile artists: Jennifer Lopez, Nicole Scherzinger, Pussycat Dolls, Sendog from Cypress Hill, as well as George Lynch, Andy Summers of the Police. I'm playing with Prashana Swani and Jose Pasillas the second from Incubus, as well as I'm working on a documentary on Native American genocide and Western imperialism with George Lynch called Shadow Train. And so I got a lot of stuff going on right now, as well as I sobered up in 2007, and I released my first solo album in 2009. So I'm trying to put another one out. And so that album had to do with jail life, living behind bars, political commentary, life, death, love, religion as well. And so I'm going to be releasing another album coming up soon, as well as I'm in school. Since I went on tour right out of high school, I never had a chance to go to college, so now I'm back in school, working on getting a civil rights law degree, hopefully. It takes a long time and it's very expensive. And so I'm focusing on philosophy and cultural anthropology right now. So that's basically the vibe, what I'm trying to do. And just, to everybody at Icons Unite, keep doing what you're doing. You guys are, this is the only way it's going to work, and music is one of the biggest ways to make a change. We could see that throughout our many cultures. It's a way to get through to people and present things that they might not necessarily listen to otherwise. And I love the whole vibe at Icons Unite. Everybody's got this, collectivism and this community I was watching some of the videos. It's great. As well as, one of my favorite astrophysicists, he says, we're connected to each other all biologically, we're connected to the Earth chemically, and we're connected to the multiverse atomically. And that's one of the hugest connections. We have that all in here. And props to the Icons Unite family for recognizing that and trying to do something about it. As well as remember, too, that, since I'm a music teacher as well, I always, I'm dealing with the youth, and I work with Guerrilla Republic and the Universal Zulu Nation, which is a hip-hop organization geared towards community service and helping around the youth do productive things through music and hip-hop culture instead of joining gangs and doing drugs. And so, as well as I work with the anti-injustice movement and Los Animales and a science-based community called Grand Unified Theory, which are into promoting, logical discussion and rational responses and science, so we can base ideas off of rationality. And so that's basically what I'm working towards right now. With the kids too, remember, we didn't inherit this earth from our ancestors, we're borrowing it from our children. And that's one of my favorite quotes. So just remember to keep working, guys. The United States is pretty, can be pretty apathetic and complacent sometimes, but we're doing what we can. And props to all you guys. Much love. Peace.